everybody. This is King, and we're back again with the radio stream. Today, it is the Punk Special with special guest. My dad, Jason Cohen. So, we're gonna do a kind of two-set show where he's gonna play some classic punk hits from his day, and I'm gonna kick it on the second half with some more modern experimental stuff. So yeah, to start it off, here he is.
Hello. I'm glad to be here tonight on KMC Radio. I'm going to play some songs. My set list are all songs by bands that I saw live play these songs back in the early 80s. So most of these were bands that would come through Dallas that were touring punk acts and became very influential to me as a young punk. We're going to start out with a couple of songs, and then I'll fill you in on what we got going as we get going. But we're going to punk the rock right now with a little Meat Puppets.
Gimme! I need some more! Gimme! Don't ask what for! 1, 2, 3, 4! Stand here like a loaded gun, waiting to go off! I've got nothing to do but to shoot my mouth off! Gimme! Give me some more! Gimme! Don't ask what for! I'm gonna go out! Get something for my head. If I keep on doing this, I'm gonna end up dead. So gimme. Give me some more. Gimme. Don't ask for more. I know the world's got problems. I got problems of my own. Not the kind that can't be solved with an atom bomb. So gimme. Gimme, gimme, gimme. I need some more. Gimme, gimme, gimme. Don't ask what for. 1, 2, 3, 4. Stand here like a loaded gun, waiting to go off. My God, nothing to do but shoot my mouth off. So gimme, gimme, gimme. Give me some more. Gimme, gimme, gimme. Don't ask for more. The people will survive in their environment. The dirt, scarcity, and the emptiness of our sound. The injustice of our greed. The practice we inherit. The dirt, scarcity, and the emptiness of our sound. There on the beach, I can see it in her eyes. I only had a Corona, 5 cents deposit.
All right. Here we are at KMC Radio, and we're punking it out tonight. Old punks versus new punks. Of course, I'm the old punk. So I started out with Tumblin' Tumbleweeds from the Meat Puppets' first self-titled album called The Meat Puppets, followed up by Gimme 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 by Black Flag off of their Damaged album. You know, I remember going to see that show in 1984. It was Black Flag playing at the Twilight Room here in Dallas, Texas, and these young punks called the Meat Puppets from Arizona came and they opened up for him. And I have to say, I think I was more impressed with Meat Puppets than I was with Black Flag. I remember they had painted themselves green, and they were so chaotic sounding. It was unlike anything I'd ever heard before. Of course, if you're a current Meat Puppets fan, their first album really doesn't sound much like any of the other albums they did after that. They kind of found their own sound that became what the Meat Puppets are today. And they're even still rocking it out as we speak. Black Flag, my memories from Black Flag, I think if I'm not wrong, I remember getting a boot kicked in my head in the mosh pit, and I knew that it was the right kind of energy. Anyway, then we heard Corona by the Minutemen. I figured Corona might be good because of the coronavirus, so we could have a little Corona by the Minutemen. And I got to see the Minutemen play a few times at the Twilight Room as well, and they were something else. That D. Boone, he was like a virtuoso on the guitar. It was sad, so sad when he passed away, because I just always try and imagine what would D. Boone be doing now. What kind of music would he be putting out if he was still alive? Anyways, we're going to pick it back up here with some more songs, and we're going to keep the punk rockin' on KMC Radio.
There's a time to fuck and a time to crave, but the Shaw sleeps in Lee Harvey's grave! There's a time to shit and a time for God! The last shit I took was pretty fucking hard! Time to be saved, and Jimi Hendrix makes love to Marilyn's remains. There's a time to live and a time to die. I smoke Elvis Presley's toenails when I want to get high.
The Lord created the earth and the seas, but on the seventh day, God rested his prick in Satan's butt. the trash from my lips. And let go! Twisted Rabbit! Let go! Twisted Rabbit! You better let go! Twisted Rabbit! The Lord made love to Satan, and they wallowed in their ugliness.
And in the beginning, the Lord created Bobby Sox and the Stickmen with ray guns. Good old Bobby Sox. He was such a delightful young chap to watch play. You know, when he would play live, it was like he was channeling his inner Jesus of some sort. I got to see them play several times as well at the old Twilight Room. He was a heinous, evil punk rocker. I would challenge any modern punk band, and this is a challenge I'm putting out to my son, that I would challenge any modern punk band to even come close to being as heinous as Bobby Sox was, and the Stickmen with Ray Gun. And then before that, there was the Butthole Surfers, Austin's own Butthole Surfers. Yeah, that was King's very first concert. We took him to see when he wasn't even born. He was in my wife's belly, just a barely formed fetus, and we were at a Butthole Surfers concert, and Barbara said he was moving around, like insanely moving around, like and punching her and kicking to the random crazed beats of the Butthole Surfers. That was off their very first, one of their very first EPs called the PCP EP, and that's The Shaw Sleeps in Lee Harvey's Grave. All right, well, I've got 3 more songs for you, and then I'm going to hand it over to my son, the modern punk, and we'll see what he's got up his sleeves. Here you go. KMC Radio.
In my heart, you're in my
Jesus' soulmate's trash. And some fucking rotten business. This. Beat in the bad mood. I'm stepping like a crap, baby, like a rock, Big Jesus soulmate trash. And it put me full of trash. At least it smells like trash. And he's got greasy hair like the silicone. But God gave me sex appeal. Well, rock. Well, rock. Well, rock. Well, rock. He got to stand up. 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 And he's coming to my town. 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 Big Jesus Oil King down in Texas. Christ, great holy Texas gold. And he trashes heaven's graveyard. American heads will roll in Texas. Roll like daddy's meat. Roll under those singing stars of Texas. Roll under those glorious singing stars of Texas.
We got a drug, we're gonna try it out on you. We'll make you die, it'll get you just a little bit sick. Got a head cold, got a chest cold, and a 2 days old. Going not forever, make a heyday, make a lazy, got a crazy. For days and days and days and days and days and years. Well, they got the time now to stay on the job. Double up the dosage in water supply. Make you even sicker, you're slipping away. Get it on your breath, we're getting on your friends. We can't get it up and up on the rock and roll. No! The government will. The government will. The government will. Swimming abroad, keep slowing down the USSR. But meanwhile, we'll keep an eye on what it's doing to you. Got a head cold, got a chest cold, and a 3 days old. Going on forever, make a hey, make a lay, got a crazy. For days and 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 years. The government will. The government will. The government will.
All right. That was Government Flu by the Dead Kennedys off of Plastic Surgery Disaster. Oh my goodness. I remember 1984, the Republican convention in Dallas, Texas. The Dead Kennedys played outside in front of the convention, and it was just packed with crazed punks going wild. That was one of the, I think I saw the Dead Kennedys play a few times, but that was probably one of the most powerful times. Government flu. That's what we're going through right now, the government flu. Before that was the great and powerful Birthday Party off of their album Junkyard with Big Jesus Trash Can. And I started that off with Cannibal by the even greater and powerful Scratch Acid from the Greatest Gift album, which in my mind was the greatest gift, that album that was given to us. When I was in high school, I want to say it was maybe 1984 or 5, I had a band called Psychic Intent, and we were asked to open up for Scratch Acid at the Theater Gallery. And I made flyers for it, which I still have today. And I was in hog heaven because Scratch Acid was one of my all-time favorite bands at that time, next to the Birthday Party. So the one band out of all those bands I just played that I never got to see was the Birthday Party. They came to Dallas, and they played at the Hot Club, and I had the flyer for it because I wanted to see them so bad because I was so obsessed with the Birthday Party, but I was not old enough to get in. The Hot Club would not let a young 15-year-old me in, and I don't blame them. Anyways, I'm handing it over now to KMC, and he's going to take over with the second half of this set with some modern punk. So here he is.
Thank you very much. That was the old man talking. I'm not as fortunate to see all of these wonderful bands play that I'm about to play for you, but nonetheless, there are wonderful bands and wonderful modern and experimental punk music, far and away from the days of old. So, without further ado, I'm going to start us off with some Black Midi.
She moves with a purpose. What a magnificent purpose. Moves with a purpose. Moves with a purpose. Oh, what a purpose. Oh, what a purpose. Oh, what a magnificent purpose. And they find different ways to suck themselves off. She does not care at all. She moves with a purpose. She moves with a purpose. And it is all such a purpose, it is such a purpose, it is so, what a magnificent purpose. Move with a purpose. is such a purpose. It is such a purpose. It is such a purpose. It is such a magnificent purpose. It is so magnificent. She moves with such a purpose. It is so magnificent. It is a magnificent purpose. It is a magnificent purpose. She moves with a purpose. She still moves with a purpose. Moves with a purpose. It is so magnificent. It is so magnificent. It is so magnificent. And they find different ways to suck themselves off. But she does not care at all. She moves with a purpose. She moves with a purpose, and it is such a purpose, it is such a purpose, it is so magnificent, it is such a purpose. Oh, what a purpose! It is such a purpose, it is so magnificent, it is such a magnificent purpose, it is such a purpose, it is so... And she moves with a purpose, and she moves with a purpose, with a purpose, and it's so magnificent. So magnificent, so magnificent. It is such a magnificent purpose. And they find different ways to suck themselves off, but she does not care at all. She moves with a purpose.
私ひたすらと絶世あなたスタコラとさっさこんばんはシルブプレおはようさシルブプレではさようならシルブプレ芝居タールシルブプレ急がな ってさ
That was just Sivu Pulat from by Otoboke Beaver off their album Itekoma Hits from 2019. Now, Otoboke Beaver is an all-female Japanese punk band from Kyoto. Fun fact, their name is based off of a love hotel in Osaka, and their stuff is, there's a lot of harking back to that old style of punk rock. Definitely, you can hear it in the song that was just played, and it's all in Japanese, so I do not know what they're saying, but I assume it's something powerful. Before that was BM, boom, boom, boom. I don't really know how to pronounce that. But that was by Black Midi off of their equally hard to pronounce album Schlackenheim from 2019 as well. And they're kind of a more industrial punk band, post-punk band from London, and yeah, they're pretty out there and pretty wild. So yeah, without further ado, we're gonna kick it on to the next track by JPEG Mafia.
1, 2.
Yeah, damn. Oh, you ain't got your flag now, nigga, what? No badge, no gun, you was not tough. Got the Benelli M4 with the big nuts. Toucan Sam, whip it like Big Ruff. Pay homage, you are not a guest, you're a hostage. Rap game thirsty, piss same color as Logic. White boys act tough, I don't give no fucks. Heard he acting like Dex, beat his ass till he rusts. Keep it on the hush. I heard that your mama, sister, auntie get in touch. Dad in my lap, catch me serving Stormfront.
Wax! Beat! I put the judge in his seat. I send that bitch to the beat. I heard she pray to Allah. Now bitch you praying to me. I do this shit for Khalif. These coppers begging for war. You niggas marching for peace. I make their family weak. Kill them or give them the beats. We put the gun at your seat, nigga. Head on right in that Billy Coon, bitch. Bitch, fuck a control. And I'm fucking cool, bitch. This is not for no interviews, bitch. Nah, bitch. Or they even news, bitch.
Yeah. Getting dry, I'm out of weed, I'm irritable. I'm fucking nauseous, I'm going crazy. I don't know what's wrong. I feel like killing somebody.
I'm on my best, fuck on my best. I got the weed, I got the stance. Fuck you, I'm paid. Baby, I got these fuck, I got these I got these bills.
Take a break! The pressure ribs are apart! The baby duck in you is tied! Pushing out an effort to duck! It's a bad time to be a jerk! She sits on a bicycle and floats in space! She's in love with an angel! Stop laughing! When the life promised her makes her Cutlass, cutlass, cutlass. Grow with basket of fruit. Grow with basket of fruit. Grow with basket of fruit. Look at her try to walk away! Let it more! Photos of her jerking into mush! Let it more! It's a vagina strained without end and her lungs fill with tears! Her lungs turn to gills! Life in her has become impossible! No path straight through Ogsmagog Bog. The jackfruit. The dragon fruit. The passion fruit. The cinnamon's bun. She sits on a bicycle and floats in space. She's in love with the angels, no taxi anywhere. When of hell's electric, the ghosts are makes her dance with a nobody. The comes love's a joke. Is by the pistol from the jar in his front pants pocket. Brian and Pepper's building up on the rings round his fingers. Her boob gets so floppy, she uses it as a fan to wave away his sickening veto. Now rubbing it off with a brick, just for his panettone. Every frog hops right up into her butthole. Every frog eats a single butthole flea on its way in. She brown box squeezes them all until froggles. And a flock of erect jigs on bat wings, peepees in her sleeping face, and pointlessly tries to fuck a blue sky. At the which execution, they all hope to be called up. They've had enough! They've had enough! Grow with basket of fruit. Grow with basket of fruit.
That was Juju with their title track to their album, Girl with Basket of Fruit. Now, Juju has been in the music scene since I was born in 2002, but I would definitely classify them as modern punk. Their album, Girl with Basket of Fruit, was released in 2019. And it definitely combines a lot of surrealist music aspects and a lot of classic punk aspects into making a very engaging and interesting listen. And then, of course, before that was the illustrious JPEG Mafia, who almost consistently blurs the line between trip-hop, hip-hop, punk rap, and from time to time country music, and that was 1488 off of his very successful album Veteran. And JPEG Mafia is one of those artists that's just known to be kind of an outcast in the music world, making all sorts of music for all sorts of people. Although for new listeners, he does tend to be abrasive. So gotta look out for that. We're coming up on my last 2 songs of the set and of the night. I hope y'all have enjoyed this music extravaganza, this punk parade, so to speak. And you know what? Let's end it off on a bang. Let's play some Parquet Courts.
Almost had to start a fight. Don't know how to react, so I won't. What do you do when you are provoked? Windows, something stop being a joke. Cut up in our modern lives. Adapt to the void, then if you must. Into this perverted status quo. What if, I've got tired of being polite. Why am I searching for a reason? I'm in the chaos dimension. Reasons eclipsed by tension. I want not to feel numb about death. Fighting peace is not an easy task. Breathing to see if there's any left. Reading about how many people died. Can someone tell me the reason? I'm in the chaos dimension, trapped in a brutal invention. If it stops, I'm having a bad dream. In and out of patience, I just can't keep it around. Most of mine's been taken, as I'll find out I'm out. Had a little love, but I gave it to you. Now someone's at my door, and he needs some too. Lighting up my phone, talking in my mood, and all I got left is this shit attitude. All this music's playing in my head. If it stops, I'm having an unshakable nightmare. Don't have enough to share. Sometimes on life itself, I'm neither here nor there. The MTA took the first of it. 20-minute delay wasn't the worst of it. So hot underground, you could burn to death. Now you're right on time to take what I got left. Funky music playing in my head. If it stops, I'm counting on you. This next one's called Freebird 2. Season, the walls at the door, and through the magazine spread.
that was Daughters with their song The Unattractive Portable Head off of their album Daughters. Fun fact, that is actually the oldest album that I have done in my set, being released in 2010. Still classified as modern punk, I would say. Before that, it was Parquet Courts with Almost Had to Start a Fight / In and Out of Patience off of their 2018 album, Wide Awake. What has been harked by many as a classic in modern rock in general. Wide Awake is a wonderful album. And those were the last two songs of the set tonight. I hope y'all enjoyed. This was a great show. Lots of great songs from the past and the present, and we will see about the future. And any closing remarks you'd like to say?
Punk is definitely not dead. That's really the most important thing that everyone needs to know tonight, that punk is not dead, and the coronavirus cannot kill punk, so it will live on. Yeah, I had fun. That was fun. We'll do it again, and I hope everybody else enjoyed our music tonight. So there you go.
All right, and we're 3 minutes ahead of schedule, so look at that. Well, I'm going to I have been recording this show, so I think I'm going to post it to my Twitch page. If not, I will put it on my Instagram story and notify where else I'm going to post it. So if you or anybody who wanted to listen who missed it, just let them know. And that's it. Adios.